What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Thank you so much for joining me for yet another video. Today, guys, as I mentioned in the last video, we threw down the pre-emergent. We're getting ready. Obviously, we don't want to have crabgrass in the yard coming up as the temperatures begin to warm up here in North Carolina. We're doing our best to prevent weeds with Prodiamine 65 WG is what I use, what I've applied to the lawn. We're doing a split app this year, so we've done 0.183, I believe, per 1,000 square feet. We have a 2-gallon sprayer, so we doubled that. We did our spraying and we applied our pre-emergent this past week. So that is in place. It is 2 months of control. So somewhere around April, I will need to remind myself in my calendar to put down that same amount of pre-emergent once again to protect us going into spring to summer. From spring into summer, we want to stop, crabgrass at that point as well. So anyways, we've done that. The other thing we did when we put down pre-emergent was I had some of that winterizer fertilizer left over from back in November. So we went ahead and I spread that. So I just wanted to quickly, you can kind of see behind me what we're dealing with. I'm not sure if we've really seen a green up. To me, it kind of looks yellow, but I think with the rain, as soon as we put that down, the next day we had tons of rain. So much that it still is washing. You can see down here some of the patches of dirt right here, over here. We had tons of rain. We didn't have a lot of ice or anything like that, but we've got more rain coming in this afternoon. And then Tuesday, which is tomorrow, and Wednesday, 60 and 66 degrees. I cannot wait for that type of weather. I'm a warm weather person. If you've been around the channel, you know that I love the 80s, the 90s. I'm deploying overseas in the military prior, to getting into lawn care and doing my regular job. I love the heat. So that's just me. So anyways, I'm just going to turn the camera around. This is just going to be a quick video to show you if the FERT has done anything at all. I just wanted to show you guys. It was a high nitrogen dose of fertilizer we threw down. It was 9,000 square feet is what we got. That's about the amount we had. We had half a bag, which covers 9,000. So we put that down. So a rate of about 1 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet, give or take. So I'll show you kind of what we're looking at, just to give you a quick update as if that starter or that winterizer FERT did anything at all. So thank you for coming back by to check the video. We'll talk a little more as we show you the lawn. So guys, as we did mention in the last video, you can still see here, we still got the little bit of moss. Iron needs to go down here. We'll handle this when it gets a little warmer. Today's actually not terribly cold. It's in the 50s, but I'll be curious to watch this and update this with you guys in the video to see, when spring comes, when the temperatures warm up, when growth comes back, this could all just pop off and just boom, just really kick off. Because you see, if you look in here, you can see the pockets of grass. It's all good grass we got. It's just not thick and there's a lot of sand. So anyways, we'll see what happens there. But this is what we're looking like with, it's been, I want to say 4 days. 3 to 4 days since we put down our starter or our winterizer FERT. Keep wanting to say starter FERT, but it was like 32-0-5 or something like that. You can go back to the previous video if you actually want to get exactly the analysis on that bag, but it was the Stay Green. So I can tell a little bit, like right here in this section, I can tell a little bit that it's greener. It seems like it's grown just barely. Clearly the soil temperatures are still below, they're in the 40s and the 50s, probably the 40s, sometimes high 30s. So growth is not taking place, but with throwing nitrogen on, I think it may have crept up just a hair with all the rain and with putting that down and it's soaking it in. It may have crept up a little bit because it does look a little bit darker. And then as we get over here, this still looks, the same. It still looks that brownish yellowish, doesn't look like it greened up much. And then when you go over this section, it looks like it greened up a little bit. So it's weird. I don't know. We threw it down and obviously there's a section right here. There's a pipe that goes from here underground and ends like right here. So I think that section, if I can zoom in right there, is green, greener than what's around it, because that water will flow through that, and obviously a lot of water will green it up. So that's likely what that is right there. But man, listen to the wind. I don't know if y'all can see that, and the wind is really kicking. But anyways, I can tell very, very slightly that winterizer fertilizer may have made a slight difference. You can still see it's kind of patchy yellow over here. Now over in this section, you know, if we just look around towards the truck, we may have to walk out there, which will be better, but it's yellowy up there towards the truck. But over here where we're at, you know, it's pretty green. In comparison to the neighbors, it's absolutely stunningly green, but we're not going to compare to them. You know, we're comparing to, you know, basically last video to this video. I may be able to take a screenshot from last video and show you, you know, this side section over here once we go out there and look at that. So anyways, that's what the backyard is looking like. Not a big change, and I debated even making this video because I couldn't tell if there was a big change. But anyways, let's go look at the front real quick and we'll wrap up this video. So guys, just quickly before we go out to the front yard, I just wanted to say, if you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe if you can. I really don't like promoting the channel that much and myself. But if you find it entertaining, what we're doing here, trying to make our yard better, if you're trying to make your yard better, we'd appreciate it. Just a like, a comment down below about anything helps it, you know, to get in front of more people. So we'd appreciate it. For all of you guys that are subscribed, you're commenting, talking about different things, very much appreciate it, man. Again, you guys know I'm no expert at all. I'm doing my best to make my yard look the best that I can here in North Carolina in the transition zone. I just show you what I do, and you guys can be like, oh, that's a good idea, I should do that, or not going to do what Mr. Ferguson did there, that's a terrible idea. So I show you the good, the bad, the ugly. This channel, I'm not going to filter out that was dumb. Dumb things, I'm going to show you. Stupid things, I'm going to show you. Good things, I'm going to show you. Because why hide those things? That's the point of learning, is we learn from our failures. That's just my opinion. So anyways, let's go out to the front yard. But I just wanted to say, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, stay around. I think we have a great group of people here. And yeah, let's go see what the front yard looks like. All right, so I apologize for the wind chimes right there. They are just going at it. It is windy today. But you can see, here's the side yard. To me, I don't see a big change. If anything, it looks the same to me. Now what could be taking place, and I don't know if this is true or not, but we could have that nitrogen that was thrown down. It's soaking into the soil, the plant, and is absorbing it, and it's holding it like potential energy is the best way I could describe it. When spring comes, boom, it's going to burst out, it's going to grow, it's going to turn green. That is very likely what it could be doing. It's not going to be a green up we see now because it's still a little cold, but that's just my opinion. That's what I think is going to happen. Same thing over here on the side, guys. As you guys can see, not a big difference at all. We applied it all over. Here's that cutout, what I was talking about last video, where we cut out, put rock down. I just thought it looked a little better. We transplanted all this grass down by the shed. That's the grass that actually survived. So, but it's looking the same. There's no difference. As you can see, we've still got a bunch of water puddling up as always, left over. And in the front yard, it's much of the same thing. It's green on this hill right here, but it's still looking the same. There was no major boom green. Now, if we had thrown that down, that 32% nitrogen down, you know, in March or April, it would have definitely greened up. You would have seen a difference. But if you're new, you're not familiar with nitrogen fertilizer, things of that, well, that's what we kind of play with and talk about here. We try different products. My favorite was Carbon X, but to my understanding this year, the Lawn Care Nut has started his own fertilizer type yard mastery fertilizers, which I think I will be dipping into those. As I mentioned before, I may grab a screenshot and post it right here on the left. If you don't have the Yard Mastery app and you are wanting to work in your yard this year or get it going, I highly recommend you download the Yard Mastery app. There is a store there, and I think his fert is going for somewhere around 50 bucks. Totally all the different analysis you need of nitrogen, potash, and potassium. So I think he's got 12, 12, 12. He's got some high nitrogen stuff, some stress blend. So everything you would need to cover your yard. So anyways, yeah, highly recommend that. And we'll be definitely be playing with different types of fertilizer this year. And there we go, guys. So it's not a big, change, if any at all. Like I said, outside, I think that really throwing down that fert. We had water, plenty of water ran over the yard and really soak that fertilizer into the plant. So my thoughts are the plant is holding that nitrogen, and when it gets warm temperatures, when it begins to wake up, it's just going to burst up. It may be a bad thing for me because it may cause me to have to mow a lot more than I want to. Put winterizer down, it can cause you to mow because the nitrogen has just built up so much, the yard just grows. And it's like you got to get out there and cut every 2 days. So we don't want that, and I definitely don't want to get sick of mowing that soon. But we'll see what happens. So just a quick update video, not much to show. Pre-emergence down. It's an invisible barrier for weeds, so there's nothing we can really show you there. But just keep in mind, the Lawn Care Nut actually just put up a decent video. I think it's been about 6 days ago, talking about seeding in the spring, how it's not recommended. You're really, and one of his great points, you know, if you're not putting down pre-emergent, then you're going to seed, then what's going to happen is you're going to basically have crabgrass come up and you're going to have your seed come up, and they're competing at the same time. So you're going to have crabgrass growing and your fescue or your grass growing, and you're really watering the crabgrass just like you're going to be watering your fescue. And with no pre-emergent there, it's tough to keep it out. You're just going to have to deal with crabgrass all year long. Where if you would throw it down now, even now is a good time to do it. Throw down pre-emergent now. You're blocking crabgrass from coming up. We planted back in the fall, so because we planted in the fall, we've got our good crop already in the ground with roots growing. Now we're going to prevent the crabgrass trying to pop up in the spring, and we're going to have basically a weed-free yard for the majority of it. So that's why he talked about, in the LCN video, talked about planting in the fall, not in the spring. To date, since I've been doing a real yard, I have not planted a single bit of seed in the spring for the reason that I put down pre-emergent. Remember, pre-emergent puts that invisible barrier on our soil. Nothing is going to break that barrier except for where we may have missed applying our pre-emergent. So if you did throw seed down, it shouldn't come up if you did a good job with your pre-emergent. The point being is we want to, for me, I want to prevent weeds, because when spring comes, this yard out here, it's going to kick up. It's going to green up. It's going to be dark green. Remember, this year, for the first time ever, I've got Kentucky bluegrass, 15% Kentucky bluegrass mixed in to my turf type tall fescue. And then I've got some original Kentucky 31 I planted way back when we first moved in the house before I ever got into lawn care. So it'll be interesting to see how Kentucky bluegrass does. It may be a totally different type of year than last year. But anyways, again, like, share, subscribe, stay around, guys. This is the beginning of the season where warm-up is just over the horizon. As I mentioned, next week, we're going to be going into the 60s. Soil temperatures are beginning to creep up, and definitely mid-March-ish, we should start seeing, by the end of March, maybe even mowing grass. Who knows? So anyways, I always keep an eye on Pete. Again, he's over there in Reedsville, just a couple hours away from us. I keep an eye on him. When he begins to wake up his yard, that's roughly when I can, so I kind of cheat that way. But anyways, thank you so much for stopping by to watch the video. May the Lord richly bless you guys. Again, leave some comments below what your thoughts are, what you're preparing for. Do you have different things you're thinking about doing this year? Just let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Who knows what we'll get into. Hopefully it will be applying some biostimulants to my yard, because I'm so overdue for some RGS, some Humic 12, some Aerate. My goodness, I need to put that down. I've got it in the shed and I've not put it down yet. Aerate needs to be the next thing I do. So hopefully something like that we'll get into. Thank you guys. Have a great week. We'll see you on the next video.